Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. And of course, right here, you know this is where purpose meets power and conversation creates change. And today, we are opening up a powerful yet necessary conversation with Quinn. And of course, we've got Dondre, who's going to be here today to tackle an important question that I think that we all have somewhat roaming in our heads today. The younger generation. How can we get them more involved? How can we get them more active? Some of them. I'll say it like that. I'm not saying that everybody. We're going to discuss what's causing the disconnect. How communities can do better jobs of teaching the value of civic engagement. Why voting is more than politics. It's about your future, it's about your voice, and of course, it's about your power. This is a conversation that every parent, every mentor, every leader, every young adult needs to hear. So what I want you to do is stay tuned, because change begins when we start talking and taking action. And that's exactly what it's all about. I want to thank you guys for getting up early for my call. You at the last minute had this super idea, but I mean, I'll get the text any time of day. When it hit me, I said, oh, this will work. But I gotta say, thank you so much for just changing things around to join us today, to talk about what's so important. Now, I want to encourage our viewers today. I want you to be a part of this conversation as well. Why do I say that? Because if you heard in my opening, it's about all of us, because we've got to learn to have that conversation at home, have that conversation at church, have that conversation at the picnic, at the concert, wherever you are, about the importance of us being heard. I'm going to be the educator today. You know how it is right now, what it is that with the Supreme Court, what they've just passed, the law that just went into action, and then you can see so many other states how they are taking this now, and it's going extremely fast to do all of this redistricting. That's a hard word to say. I wanted to talk to the younger generation who's always out there in the field, who's doing things. And with you, Dondre, you ran for office, so you were out there campaigning. I saw you everywhere, and ever since I met you, Quinn, you don't ever stop. I mean, you've got connections with a whole lot. Plus, you into an industry that we need to talk about. And that's the music industry, because we know how the young people are. Right. Don't get me wrong now, I like the music industry too. But the fact of it is, I want to hear from you guys today. You know, this year we got the primary coming up in August.
Yes, ma'am.
What we're trying to motivate, I want to hear the conversations that you have with your generation when it comes to voting, when it comes to being heard. Is there a disconnect that we're missing? Is there something that we're not talking about that's not intriguing to the generation of your age that we're missing to get you motivated? Who want to take that first and start off with that? Both smiles. Okay, Dondre got a smile here. Okay, go ahead, Dondre.
I think that's a loaded answer. Right.
Both of y'all nodding.
it's a give and take with why we don't show up. A lot of us do. I want to say that first. A lot of us do, and we don't get that. I feel that we don't get that just due for the vast few that actually shows up.
Exactly.
You know, we kind of just hone in on the negative, the people that don't show up, and that's partially why. You know, not necessarily saying that we need a pat on the back, but more so a spotlight on, hey, these people actually show up. So, you know, kind of highlight them on why and when, and etc. I also feel like the people that don't show up are just uneducated on the matters.
Okay.
Specifically, I was talking to a couple kids I mentored, and they were telling me that it really doesn't matter. That's old people stuff. And they're not aware that
chills went through me when you say that.
They're not aware that it's actually directly impacting them. Maybe not immediately, but it's becoming immediate. And they have to be educated on that.
Okay. So, he said that we got to educate more. Well, I want to say this. I heard a person use this analogy, and I loved it. do you want your grandma to continue to make decisions for you? Because if you continue to let grandma vote and you don't, grandma's still making decisions for you.
Right.
So you got to take that mantle and wear it yourself. Now, I want to come to you, Quinn.
Yeah.
I mean, because the things, how we are trying to, and I don't want any person to think that the mature audience, that we think that you don't. We're saying that we need more. And I'm going to highlight this throughout the show. It is utterly important, especially this year. I'm talking the primary. I'm talking the primary that's coming up in August. We need to make sure that we flood it out.
Right.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm sure you already know why. But I want you to be able to have these conversations. So like what you said, if we feel like we're disconnecting from the ones who feel like, oh no, that's the, I can't say that word, the grown people thing to do. And it's not us. How can we get that stigmatism out of their head? Because it affects you, because life goes on. Grandma ain't going to be here forever.
Right.
Because when you do not vote, you already voted.
Right.
You know that, right? When you don't vote, you've already voted for the other side.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important that we take this. Talk to me, Quinn.
Yeah, first I just want to say thank you for having us and starting this conversation, because it is important in the community to be able to have these candid conversations in some ways. And it's one thing to have, you know, again, a pillar of the community and, you know, elder in the community to be able to speak to our younger generation.
Exactly.
Because I don't think these conversations happen enough.
I don't think so either.
And I think that's where the breakdown really happens, because that's the exchange of information at that point. The biggest thing I see, one, to your point, is the awareness and the education. So awareness, education, and experience, I think, are the three main things that will connect and bring and bridge that gap.
Okay.
So when I speak on that is, on the education piece, we know most of the time, if you're educated, if you have a degree, things of that nature, you're more inclined to vote.
Exactly.
At the same time, we also know if you have the experience, the lived experiences of not being able to vote, you're more inclined to vote.
You're more inclined to vote. I see that.
So then if you look at the awareness piece, now we're talking about our younger generation. They may not have that connection when it comes to the experience or the education. So to tie that full circle is to be able to, one, meet them where they are.
Exactly.
Meet us where we're at. And have those conversations and to get the better understanding of why it's important to vote.
Exactly.
Because again, to your point, no decision sometimes is a decision. You know, your yes is sometimes no to something, and your no is sometimes yes to something else. So being able to balance the two, I think that's the most
I love that
thing.
when you say that the part we got to reach you where you are.
Right.
We got to get there, and that's the things that I have running through my head now is, okay, I got to think outside the box. Let me think outside the box, because I want to educate them so, you know, so, it's just in my heart to let them know. Because what I ask, even with you and you, ask them why they think the gas is so high now. When I go to the grocery store, if I come out with 2 bags, I spend $60. And I got 4 or 5. He said, "Whoo, you got a baby." We both y'all got them young kids.
Yes.
I mean, he said, "Whoo," that means. I mean, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And because okay, if you have that, if you are driving and you see, and every time, even with, do they even know about the war?
Right.
Some of them.
So.
Okay, you said something. If they go to college and get a degree, they're more inclined to vote.
Right. Numbers show that. That's not an opinion.
Of course. I got you. I understand what you're saying. But understand me also, I got to say this. We're not telling you who to vote for. We're telling you to vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just exercise your right to vote. Don't lack in that.
Right.
Learn about the candidates. Look and see what they're doing. See what they offer. See what their record talks about, and that will determine which way you go. You see what's happening in the world today.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing the things that are happening, and it's more difficult. And I'll be honest with you, it's difficult.
Right.
Yes.
And becoming more, I mean, because I'm by myself. I mean, it's difficult. But the fact of it is, what we've got to do mostly, I want to hear from our viewers as well. Maybe you've got ideas of how we can bring the young people together. What do y'all call yourself? The generation what? Y'all the
millennials.
There you go. But it's like I just want the importance of this to come from under the rug, because if we don't, it's gonna get worse.
Right. Yep.
You won't be able to be milking a cow.
Yep.
You're gonna have a cow in the backyard, going, milking them in a minute.
Yep.
I mean, come on, you're gonna be planting your own garden. I went looking for a watermelon. The watermelon was $15. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that's the low end.
Right.
And last year I bought a watermelon for $4.94, and now that watermelon is $15, and it's that big. But do you see the analogy that I'm using?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it easy so that people will understand. I don't care what your age, you've got to exercise that right to vote. You've got to exercise that right to vote. What issues are impacting the young adults that causes them to not turn? Is it the jobs? We already talked about the education, housing. Look at the healthcare, what we're doing now. And you got little kids.
Right.
Look at the healthcare. How can we get that message across? Because I know you all have ideas because you're out there with them.
I think it really really goes to what Quinn said, experience. On that aspect, a lot of people, I'm gonna use my little brother, a lot of people didn't know how much like health insurance and just taking your baby to the doctor actually is. And he was like, man, I got health insurance and they said I gotta pay $250
for that copay.
I got good health insurance.
Right.
He was like, man, I ain't have to pay nothing for me. What do you mean $250 for? It doesn't make sense just to check out.
Exactly.
And I was just like, yeah, that's what it's got to. It's gotten to. And
Right.
He was like, I was like, well, you remember this bill? I forgot exactly what bill it was. And I was like, this impacted, and it was like, this was way back then.
Right.
I said, and they like to blame you for being unaware. I said, remember, we talked about that.
Okay. See, that's the point he just made.
Yeah.
That we got to make sure that nobody can throw a blame that you don't know, because of the fact that we got to make sure that they even know about who Fannie Lou Hamer is.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that they know who Edgar Mavis is, because of the fact that these are the people that paved the way. Because right now, for me, I think with this Supreme Court ruling, that's a slap in the face for Dr. King. A slap in the face for, Fannie Lou Hamer, who walked right through. She died at 59 because of all the beatings she took. All of these things like that. And these people are who died for us. So we've got to keep that cause going, because as you see, it's being taken away.
Yep.
Do you see how easy that happened?
I think the biggest thing is trust and transparency. So if our generation can't trust the system that has over time shown that it doesn't always support everyone.
Black people, go ahead and say it, because this bills are pointed at the black community.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, if it's not being shown that this system hasn't changed over a course of time, then our younger generation is like, what's the point? But the thing about it is they're not connected to the experience, and the experience isn't being passed down from generation to generation.
Experiences.
Yeah, so again, my grandparents, I just had a conversation on the way here to just talk about, what this topic. My grandparents were born in 44. My mom was born in 64.
Oh, wow.
So, from 44 to 64, and then me being a 90s baby, and then now you got another generation that's now born. My daughter is, 2024. So, I'm sorry, 2022. You know how it is, daddy brain.
I got you.
Yeah. But 2022. So it's a lot of things that have changed over the course of time, and things that have been stripped away and diluted. And then it's up to, again, the household to continue to have the conversation and force. So like me and Dondre was just having this conversation of, my grandparents wasn't able to vote at one point.
That's right.
Once they were able to vote, my mom had to vote because she saw that my grandparents weren't able to vote.
Exactly.
So they pushed that experience to my mom. My mom is encouraging us to vote, and then we have to make that same transition.
Exactly.
But again, education, all of that also plays a role. So if you're not really educated or tied to the experience, you're less likely to vote
Right.
So it's one, back to the point of being educated and aware, that also has to have, that conversation has to be had amongst the community and amongst, you know, our peers.
Right.
To cause that awareness and bring that education.
And also,
how do you think, not cut across you, how do you think we're going to affect this when you say that we got to make sure that the younger, like your baby, to be educated, and they're stripping all the Black history out of school?
I mean,
when they're even taking that off the shelves, all the Black history, which American history is Black history.
I think that's when we need to dive even deeper into like build dissection. What do these words really mean? You know, they say redistricting, they say all that type of stuff in school. It's like, oh, that means you just go into this hallway. Blah, blah. No, you're not just going to this hallway. Like you won't be represented.
Right.
Like you have no say so, and you live in that area. Like that's what that means. And it's like they don't understand that, and that's partially, I feel like, everybody's fault, because we more so is just kind of hidden in. You need to vote. You need to vote. You need to vote. But we need to focus on the why. Let's just get on that part.
Right. When we talk about the whys, I'm going to take something, I'm going to peel off what you both just said. Grandma told you she planted it in her daughter. Daughter's planted it into you. You going to plant it into your kids. Your grandparents planted it into your mama. Your parents have planted it into you. So it's up to you.
Right.
That generation has got to grab on to what's being taught from up here, because all of that's going to affect you. The point that I can make with that we got to do this, whether you think it affects you, that it's important enough that you don't know all the issues, it's affecting you every day. And the point that's going to happen even more, it's going to affect you even more if these things continue to happen. Do you want to go back? You want to experience it? If it keeps going like it is, you will experience that. And I don't think that's what we need to make sure that they're educated in a way that, because of what my parents went through, and when I see the things now are stories that I heard my parents, who were born in the 20s, were telling me about. And I'm hearing now it's happening in the 20s again, 2026. Can you imagine? That's over 100 years from the age of my parents. Think about that. I want you to think about that as well. 850-432-7768. Be a part of this conversation. What can we do as a community to make that connection? What can we do as a community to connect the dots? Let's talk about it right here on Sunshine's Corner.
I learned during my military service to train every day to fight and fight to win. If you've been injured in an accident, you already know one thing for sure. The insurance companies are going to fight you for every dollar you deserve. At Michelson Booth, we settle most of the cases we handle. But if the insurance companies choose to fight, well, we're okay with that too. If you've been injured in an accident, choose a law firm that's got the resources, training, and stomach for the fight. Michelson Booth. Don't be a victim twice.
Nestled in the heart of Pensacola, Dorothy's is a one-of-a-kind, community-driven cocktail bar by Oasis, Florida, created to sustain vital HIV and STI care across the Florida Panhandle. Inspired by the Wizard of Oz, rooted in inclusion, and dripping with character, Dorothy's is a welcoming space with award-winning Oz-inspired cocktails, food by Steel Pony Diner, and an unmatched atmosphere. Join us 7 days a week in downtown Pensacola, located directly across from Maritime Park and the Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Step into your hometown boot store right here in Pensacola, Florida. The largest selections of Western boots and attire, including our own style of custom Anderson bean. The boot store also carries a great selection on workwear, from boots to fire-resistant clothing. When you're looking for authentic wear, accompanied with authentic service, show up at your hometown boot store, where you're more like family than you are a customer. And remember, the savings and selection are found behind the big red boot.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
850-432-7768. I want to get that number in your head. 850-432-7768. Hi, welcome back to the hottest spot in town. This is the place that we can talk about those difficult conversations, and you can feel comfortable having those conversations here. Why do you guys think that when it comes to local issues that are impacting our young adults right here in Escambia County, that when it comes to the primaries, the percentage is so low, but then when it comes out to the presidential, everybody will go out and vote? Do they not realize, is this a place we need to educate more, that even when you're voting local here, that's for you here, and it's just as important as the presidential, you think?
100%. I mean, I don't think a lot of people understand that voting local affects everything at the top.
Exactly.
But everybody wants to be involved at the top.
Exactly.
So I think as we decouple kind of what that looks like, I think it'll bring more people in, again, understanding and awareness. So
Exactly.
You was trenched in it, so.
Yeah.
When you were in that, was it difficult to get the message across? Or was it sometimes that they did not receive it?
Oh, absolutely. More, absolutely. I think more so, it was an educational thing. I think I got a lot of pull because I was so young, and they actually seen me. Like, they're like, "Oh, you running for office? I thought you were talking about somebody running." I'm like, "No, it's me."
Exactly.
And they're like, "Oh, you can do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can
why
do
not?
that."
Make
So
that
that once I like kind of highlighted that bridge gap, and then I kind of just went along with that for the ride. Kind of took me on the ride, because it was just like once I started talking to my generation, they seen that I'm not the person talking about a person, I am the person. They were kind of intrigued on that, like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do this, da da da." Man, I'm gonna run for mayor. And I'm like, "No, you laughing, but do it." And they're like, "No, I can't do that."
How is it that they think that when it comes to all of the negativity that they hear, because it's all over social media, you see it everywhere. How is that? Is that not capturing their attention to, with all that negativity that's being pointed, because it's everywhere. I mean, you open up social media, that's all you see. Are they not perceiving that for what it is?
Depending on the algorithm.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes and no. Yes, they are seeing it, but no, it's more so entertainment a lot of times.
Really?
It depends on what you're interacting with on a regular basis.
Okay.
Again, so if you're not interacting with political campaigns or history or any of the local government.
Right. So you just scroll right past it.
If you just scroll right past it, or it's not even being filtered to you, other things are being filtered
Exactly,
to you.
because if you don't click, it's not coming to you anyway.
Exactly.
So what, okay, I think I'm so into finding ways that I come to a blank, because I don't want the younger generation to miss out on the knowledge, number one, that's needed, so that they can continue to carry on the legacy that's been built. And it's going to take all of us now. It's going to take all of us. I mean, young, old, in the middle.
Yeah.
It's going to take all of us. But my reason for having younger people on the show is to get that message out to your generation on how important it is. If you don't have the knowledge, ask somebody.
Right.
Seek and ye shall find. Knock, the door shall be open. But if you don't knock, it's gonna stay locked.
Right.
Right. So how can we do this to get that to them? I think about, okay, just like I want to travel now. I just love what President Obama has done with the Obama Center, right? That's gonna open up on Juneteenth. But it's all about the education that's in that building. I wish that we could just take everybody up there to see it, maybe that'll motivate them, if you understand what I'm saying.
We can do that.
Okay, let's do it. Let me know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get several buses.
No, I'm saying, like, far as not saying going to the Obama Center, but we can have various resources in which we give that information.
Right.
I think the biggest issue is consistency. I think once people see that the youth is not coming out, then they kind of give up. And then also the bad rep the youth gets on, sometimes, the younger youth, sometimes you know, they tend to act up or something like that. But I think that's a false narrative. I think when you put people in certain scenarios, you're going to get a certain outcome.
Scenarios like what? That's
like,
gonna make them act up.
That's gonna make them act up. That's gonna make them act up. Like, you know, you scared of your mama, but if you got a whole bunch of security guards that's just not even paying attention to you, and then once y'all start fighting, now they're da da da. Or if you got an
hold it right there.
environment.
That's where I want to go. That's another thing. Why do we feel like we have to fight each other?
Ignorance. Ignorance is bliss.
Now, even
right?
when you have a crowd of
when
people,
you're young, well, I'm saying everybody been young. When you're young, you got all these emotions, etc. You have to learn how to deal with your emotions. Everybody's still dealing.
Okay,
with
you're 20 something, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're still a baby. All right. Okay, you're 20 something. What type of emotions that are all inside of a 20-year-old, a 20 blank year old, that I've got so much on the inside of me that's going to explode that I want to hit Quinn? Tell me what.
Pride. That's the number one.
Pride about what?
About self. Pride about what you feel. Again, emotion. What you feel, what I may feel Quinn is trying to say to me. He just told me to tie my shoe, but I feel like he trying to say he better than me because he knew. This is just emotion.
Really?
But this is what I'm saying. You have
Talk
to
to
be
me, baby. I'm learning.
educated on how you feel, why you feel. Various
So hold it.
triggers.
Now, every
And
time
that-
I get an idea, I'm going to have to say do this because I forgot what you said. Because I think this is interesting. When I'm holding these emotions, if I get upset because Quinn told me my shoe wasn't tied right, because these emotions that's holding it on me, where are these emotions derived from? Is it coming from home?
Could be emotional regulation. I mean,
Could be.
you definitely got to be in tune with your emotions, you know, when you're having conversations, because I mean, it takes time. The biggest thing I think within our culture and culture in general, especially being a man, things of that nature, we want respect. And if you feel as though somebody's disrespecting you,
You'll die about it sometimes.
And that's a bad place to be in.
It's a bad place, but he right.
But
Really?
emotional IQ is really what younger generations need to understand. But that takes time, and I feel as though more conversations, having mentors, having, you know, the capacity to have a conversation. I think communication is the biggest thing. So as people learn to communicate, because I think that's the biggest thing too, being able to communicate the emotions that you're feeling. Because a lot of people don't have the outlets to have those conversations and have those conversations with somebody who understands them. So that's another.
Oh my God!
That's a big thing.
I'm gonna ask you a big question. Do they know God? Are they into our Lord and Savior? Are they being taught that at home? That because at home is where you're gonna get that being taught about Jesus. Because I mean, you're gonna go to church, you're gonna learn. Is that being taught?
Not even necessarily at home, because I can't necessarily blame home, because I've seen a lot of cases now that I mentor kids sometimes that they get it at home, and it's just they just feel how they feel. And you know, I'm a firm believer. When I was younger, I used to get mad at it, but it takes a village.
It takes a what?
It takes a village.
Oh, I thought you said feelings. Okay.
No, it takes a village. Your entire community, your surroundings have to be on the same accord for you to succeed. I'm a firm believer in that. If you're not in the right surrounding, if you're not in the right headspace, if you're not in the right environment, you'll never succeed. You have to get to where you need to be to get where you're going to go.
And I mean, going back to your analogy with watermelons and gardens and all the things, you know, if you're not planting seeds in the right soil,
it ain't gonna grow right.
And if you're not watering it either or tending to it, it can't
That's
grow.
right. Wherever you plant your seed, if it's a good seed, it's gonna come up good. If it's a bad seed, it's gonna come up bad. And you got to be able to cultivate that garden to make sure you have a good crop. I want to hear, when I hear that I'm angry or that it's my emotions, that I'm so firecracker, you know, a firecracker, pop, that if I'm afraid, if I'm gonna have a conversation with you about, oh, you stepped on my shoe. Now get that off my shoe. You talking to me? Why? Okay, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I stepped on your foot. I made a mistake. My question is, how are we going to be able to reach, get them to understand? You got to get out of the emotions, because I mean, because sometimes when you hear these things, when they pop up, you might pop up on the wrong one, and you might not get up from that. How are we going to get them to control that? Because people nowadays, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Me, at this lovely age I am, 30. He said, that when I'm out by myself all the time. Do you know I don't like pulling up on the side of the car with a young person?
Really?
Because I'm afraid.
Really?
Really.
I would.
When I pull, it's certain now. If I hear and if I see, I'm being real. And if I'm at a light, and if that car right there, boonga boonga boonga, I'm not gonna go all the way up. There's a fear in me because I don't know how to handle that person. Or if that person, when you read about pow, that goes through my head. How are we going to get that to be overcome so people my 30-year-old age don't feel that fear of that?
See, that just goes back to one of our first points, and that's just education. And also, I always tell my granddaddy all the time, you were young once. You remember you was riding the Cadillac and you ain't had a roof on and you was listening to some Teddy Pendergrass and you riding, you going to pick my grandma up.
Checking about going to pick grandma.
Now that's just me.
Right.
But listen to this. I'm listening to Teddy Pendergrass. Looks like another little chicken.
But see,
turn out the lights.
But see, back then, right?
I'm gonna give you the
if
difference.
you go in a Christian household, but that was loud. Okay, let's go a little bit further. Let's say my parents going from Teddy Pendergrass to Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, Rakim, and all of them. That was hoopla to my grandma and them, just like it's hoopla to my mom what I play. It goes back to education. Everything repeats. It's just a different cycle of a young person being young. It's the education that what's missing is, I feel, a lot of the older generation, or we say more mature generation,
30-ish, yes.
They forget that they were once young.
Right.
You had your grandma, your auntie to tell you this was that. A lot of people done wrote the younger generation off already, and they feel that. So it's like you said, it's an education thing all the way around. Experience, education. I'm stealing everything Quinn said because it's true. It's true because at the end of the day, we need all of those things to really circulate through every generation. All three, up, high, down. Everybody needs to understand that I have a different perspective. I can't see through your eyes. So we have to connect through this thing called understanding.
But I would also push back and say it's definitely more good than bad. So don't let the stigma of the music deter you from the person that's listening to the music. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure that person probably get up and open the door for you. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I listen to 2 Chainz all the way to the parking lot. See?
I heard him, but I
don't know. I'll open the door for you.
I love you guys. Okay, this is what I'm saying. The reason why I call you, I love you guys with the perfect kind of love, because I know you. I mean, I would probably pull up beside you and turn up my Teddy Pendergrass. What's up? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, though, for those who are not like you, it's what, oh God, he told me go to break. I gotta go to break. I'm going to come back. I was about to take it to another level. We'll be back with more. 850-432-7768 right here on Sunshine's Corner.
For 75 years, we've been caring for families, creating jobs, and working to build a healthier community. This is your home, and ours too. We're honored to be the trusted partner in your care. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
I'm Kathy Holsworth, Artistic Director at Pensacola Little Theater. Join me on the first Monday of every month at 7 p.m. for the Center Stage, where me and my artistic friends talk about all things on the stage and at the Clark Family Cultural Center. Join us, won't you?
Early detection saves lives. The Florida Department of Health in Escambia County's Regional Florida Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program is hosting a mobile mammography event on Wednesday, May 20th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1718 East Olive Road in Pensacola, Florida. Free or low-cost mammograms will be provided to eligible women 40 to 64 who do not have health insurance and have low income. Walk-ins are welcome. To see if you qualify, call 850-316-2706.
You know the tomorrow behind that song. Oh, hi. Wait a minute. No, but that's okay. We were talking about the music and the difference in the music and the likeness in the music.
The windows.
You said something that was really strong. You said we went about it in a different way.
Yes.
But y'all had put it out there straight cold, boom.
Yeah.
But okay, but what I'm saying, with that, even with that narrative right there, if it's even with 2 Chainz, even with when I saw Yin Yang Twins when they came down here, okay? Out of all these years I've been in radio, I just found out why they were called the Yin Yang Twins. Out of all these years, I'd have played their music forever, but I turned the monitors out. Because I didn't want to hear it. I had to play it, but I didn't want to hear it. Like, yeah. Watch that clock. How is it? You see how we ended that up smiling? How can we get those who are a little bit lack of the education? It's not that we want to do anything to tear you down. We want to build you up because we see what's happening in the world. And as the mature and your grandpa and your granddaddy, your grandma, after we fall asleep, somebody got to take the mantle. And it's got to be turned down to the younger group all the way because the foundation of it's never going to change.
Right.
The foundation is always going to stay the same. But how? You said that it takes a community. Yes, it does. But community, when I get into deep conversations, my community won't call. They won't. They won't say nothing. That's what I want us to overcome. Speak. Talk. Talk about it. Have those uncomfortable conversations. That's how we're going to overcome what we are. Because if we continue to just sweep it under the rug, we're going to get left behind. If we talk about a watermelon $15 now, next year it may be $25. And I won't eat them again. But what I'm saying is, the fact of it is, how is it that, what can we do? What happens when the young people don't participate in the elections? These kind of things happen when these prices go up. And it's you, now we've already come up with one thing that we're working on. We'll let you know about that soon. That's going real soon. Just standing in the hall, we had an idea. Thank you. But it's all about coming up with ideas to make it happen. And I think that we need to come together. We need the younger people and the mature people to come together. We only want this to get better. Don't want to hurt nobody. It may not. Now, if I tell you, now, Robert, pull your pants up. Don't get mad at me. I say, Robert, put a belt on. Don't get mad at me. Robert, you want that job? Put that belt on.
2 things. One, I want to say everybody has to let go of ego.
Okay.
Ego has to go for this to become a thing. And then 2, it's approach. Just like you approach somebody more mature differently, approach the youth differently. And that's each person. I know an old man that don't like me saying sir. And he older than my granddaddy, way older than my granddaddy. He don't like me calling him sir. It's a habit, it's ingrained in me. I can't get it.
Don't lose that either.
But it's all about approach. He didn't like me calling him sir. I stopped calling him sir. I was the first person in a while to stop doing that. It was hard. But then he called me after the election, told me he voted for me. I said, oh, I ain't really worried about that. You know, I wanted your vote, but I don't, I wasn't, yanking your chain like you gotta vote for me. And it was just those small little things that are big things that people overlook often, I think will bridge the gap.
How can we get the young people, even in high schools, to get more involved in leadership? You ain't been out of high school with 2 minutes.
Show them the, and I keep going to say education, show them the way. I end up, it's a lot of people that are more involved in politics now after I ran, but it was more so explaining that you can do it too.
Okay.
And it's not just a boring thing, showing them
exactly. It's exciting.
What this bill, they'd be like, oh, I don't like this, blah, blah. I say, the commissioner does that. If you run for office, you can get that fixed. He can't do that. I'm like, no, he actually can. That's his job. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that.
We got a phone call. Somebody said something. I guess somebody want to ask y'all something now. Look at that big old smile came on your face then. Let's see. I don't want to cut them off. Let's do it again. Stop. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine.
I know that voice.
Everybody
say good morning to Quinn and Dondre.
They smiling because
good morning.
Everybody say, "Oh, I know that voice."
America, the name America, it means land of the prince. America means land of the prince, but it doesn't say what prince. We need to move towards making America the land of the Prince of Peace.
Okay, come on.
The Prince of Love. Huh?
That's right.
And we need to be protected by the one true God that exists above.
I agree.
The last great revival in this country was here in Pensacola from 1995 until the year 2000. 4.3 million people came here looking for something.
Did.
What they're looking for is still here. The young brother talked about pride. Sunshine, I got an acronym for pride. P-R-I-D-E. Pride really is destructive, everybody. Huh?
I'm going to steal that. I'm sorry. So I got to steal that.
But because of the fact that I'm one of those senior citizens with seniority now.
I can tell.
We fail to pass on our faith to our children in the supernatural power of our Creator.
That's right.
The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Rap and hip-hop culture said at one time that it wasn't cool to go to school. You had to get out there and start, you know what I'm doing. Talking about the stuff that was negative in our community. I took my grandfather to vote in DeKalb, Mississippi in 1980 when Ronald Reagan was running for president. It was the happiest day that I've ever seen my grandfather. Because he said he was never able to vote in that courthouse in Kemper County because he couldn't count how many jelly beans was on the jar that was sitting there, or tell them how many bubbles was in the bar of soap.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
And then when he walked out of that courthouse, he stepped off the sidewalk for a white couple so that they could have the sidewalk. I told him, I said, Papa, I went to war for you not have to do that.
See?
But that is what we're failing to give our children now.
Exactly. That's where I'm going.
So I'm praying for all these young people that they will stop doing what they're doing and get back into what we did in order to get where we are.
Say that again.
Stop doing what you're doing that keeps you from getting where we are, because it took us so much to get where we are.
Lord, yes. Now, wait a minute. One more thing. I want you to give me that acronym one more time.
Pride. P-R-I-D-E. Pride really is destructive, everybody. Put pride in your back pocket.
I'm going to steal that.
I love it.
I'm going to steal that.
Look, he said he goes.
Back pocket and admit that you don't know and ask somebody that does.
These are the kind of calls I want to have from somebody that can bring up something, because I get so emotional, and I wanted this to happen because I knew that there were things that that other people could bring out to help me get the message to you all that what I'm trying to say. And I tell you, pride. One more time. It's destructive.
Everybody.
For everybody.
Yes. I absolutely agree.
Love is L-O-V-E, leaving others victoriously empowered.
I like that.
Hope is the most important thing. Let's keep hope alive. What is hope? H-O-P-E. Helping other people everywhere.
Come on, somebody. This man got
I love you, young brothers. Keep doing what you're doing, and realize that you are the representative of our future. So make sure you put God first in your life.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kingdom Walker.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Pride. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
I love that. You see, he inspires me. He has a prayer list. I bet there are, thousands and thousands and thousands of people on this prayer list all over the world that's praying every day. Can you imagine that? Your name on a list. They're being prayerful every day. I wanted that to come out because you see, the things like he said, that pride especially, we need to get the younger generation. We're not trying to take anything from you, but the fact of it is pride. You got to know how to even maintain that pride without hitting me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
love, the acronym he gave for love. This is what I want them to understand, that the importance of their voice. If you want to know, instead of saying that it hurts my feelings, let me tell you how powerful you are. Go cast your vote. That's more power than you ever seen. That's the way you can speak the loudest. And you don't have to even move your lips. Get that pen. You have spoken so loud that nobody can take that away from you. That I can calm down with those emotions that I'm having by simply going in that booth. And I ain't got to say a word. That's what I'm talking about. That's pride right here on Sunshine's Corner.
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority's state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. So you have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. I gotta say to you, Kingdom Walker, these young men during the break were saying, wow, man, he's got to have a lot of those acronyms. I said, you can come up with any topic you want. Kingdom Walker got an acronym for it. And they love that. And I think that has that sparked the fire on another level when I saw the faces that smiled as he was giving that, but the points he was making. And I saw something on your faces. Keep doing it, Kingdom Walker. But
see, that was a wonderful approach. You know, I mean, it wouldn't affect us per se, but like to someone else in our generation.
Yes.
I mean, of course, it affected us. I don't rephrase that.
I understand
it affected
what you're
us, but yeah, I think that approach would definitely get a lot.
Well, maybe when we do an event, then because I want to have that. Maybe I can invite Kingdom Walker out to come out and give some of them fine acronyms.
But you also created an environment for that to happen. And
Exactly.
And again, that's the whole thing, is being able to have a place, an environment that fosters that type of conversation. I think we talked about resources, the Equity Project Alliance with Dr. Wiley.
Oh God, yes.
Like, that's a great resource within the community that's bringing different walks of life, different age demographics, all things to one location to have topics and conversations around. I know one of them is a conversation in black and white.
That's it.
That's one of them. The other one is the data walk. Yep. Talking about all the things that's going on within the community, whether it's homelessness, whether it's education, what all the things and how it affects us. But you have different people from walks of life that around the meal that can have a conversation.
Exactly. So I've been to that black and white.
And the story slam.
It is off. I mean, and you really get to open up.
Right. It's the environment.
It's the environment. Exactly. But now you also, what you do, you reach out with a lot of people too. I'm going into your business now. Then I'm gonna come to you because I know all about you. You built something, and I'm using this as an analogy to let people see that we are smart young people. You built an app from scratch, and using it. We got 5 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah, so I've been working on an application to streamline business for the entertainment industry. So specifically focusing on booking and logistics. So pretty much an operating system on the backside for entertainers to streamline their business.
Exactly.
I've worked in a number of industries. I've worked in real estate, I've worked in banking, I've worked in nonprofits, things of that nature. And there was always a system that pretty much was a standard for the industry. There's still not a true system that's standardized for the entertainment business. So our goal is to create a standardized system that anybody could just jump in and utilize.
Exactly.
So we're still tweaking some things, and we'll be going to market here soon. But
still, I commend that because this is something. Look what you did. When we talk knowledge, you created this. I remember when you told me you were working on it years ago, and look at you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But look at you now. Yeah. I look at you when you stopped that. Now you're creating a business of your own. Yeah. Now, like you went back to school.
Yes.
You're educating yourself to have your own business.
Absolutely.
And that speaks volumes. And with you, but you're gonna be bringing in people. Everybody's gonna be able to see you.
Yes.
Young, old, babies in the middle, even goo goo gaga.
That's what the thing I like about AHW. Like, I learned so much from
AHW, hey Ace.
Yeah, Ace, I said Dr. P, Mr. P. I really learned a lot from, and then I can actually still do what I always do, my activism. I'm a big activist. I'm actually up again for Community Activist of the Year.
Nice. Wonderful.
Congratulations.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
You need to tell me so we can vote.
Right.
Yeah, I really love it. I can still talk to the community. I can cut heads, and I always wanted to be a barber, and now I can finally do that.
Absolutely. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, every week I'm going to have on a couple young people, because until I can find a way, I don't believe in giving up. I want to talk about it. I want to see where everybody is so that we can do something to really tap on what's that so emotional, to tap on what it is that triggers, that keeps you from going to do this. I want that part out there, and I don't think, unless we talk about it, it's going to stay the same. Right. If it's kept quiet, it's not going anywhere. But that's what Sonshine's Corner is all about. I am a person that looks at what tomorrow holds. And you all are our tomorrows. You all are our future. We got to get all of the young people in the community, because you're so smart. You got so much to offer, but we got to get that pride in order. And that's what this is going to be about. And I'm asking the community to do this as well. When we put something together so we can talk to the young people, let's come in with a positive attitude so we can get them on that positive line so that they can receive that pride and put it to the side.
What's funny is once you brought pride up again, it gave me the analogy of pride is pretty much the lock on the door of wisdom. So again, sometimes pride will keep you from going to ask the question and all the things, because some of the things that I've been working on, it took community
to do it,
to build, to get the education, to get the wisdom,
exactly,
in order to move things forward. So,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And I know,
Absolutely.
I'm sure for you going into politics and all things, like it took
Man, I love every single one of them. They can get anything from me. My little community, and specifically, man, my big community, because they not little. They.
We got 1 minute. Gotta go. Listen at this. Continue to do what you're doing because you have not heard the last of me. We're gonna do some more because I need you. I need you, Dondre. I need you, Quinn. I need your help so that we can come together. It's not about just one of us. It's all of us got to come together to make that change. I will be calling on you, and I appreciate you so very much because you know I love you with a perfect kind of love.
Love you too.
That's right. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get out of here, but I want to remind you now, you can watch this show again this afternoon at 6 o'clock. Pass the word. Track it around. I'm going to give you the link so you can get the YouTube and you can pass that around so people can watch that so we can bring this together. I've got to go, but I want to leave you as I do every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first, I guarantee you this, you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow for another day of sunshine, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. And keep that pride. Thank you, Kingdom. Welcome.